Because we integrate superconscious mind, we refer to our training as also bridging science and spirituality into a career. There's a lot of science in our class. It's a lot of evidence-based information, but it's also not ignoring the higher self, the spiritual nature, the metaphysical spiritual nature of hypnotherapy. So that's why we do talk about the superconscious mind, Christian vernacular, the energy of the soul, the energy of the higher self. Speaking of science, though, we are very proud of the fact that the National Institutes of Health, we partnered with National Institutes of Health to fund the largest, most scientifically rigorous study in hypnotherapy in the modern era. So I want to take a few minutes to describe what that's about. So in 2011, we did a pilot study using our technique, 22 women working on overactive bladder, urinary urgency, and incontinence. 3 sessions, 22 women. Half were randomized into behavioral therapy. Half were randomized into behavioral therapy. The other half were randomized into our hypnotherapy using our techniques. There's a specific style that we use. That study showed that we had a 25% better result than behavioral therapy. We presented these findings. National Institutes of Health hadn't funded mind-body medicine research in many years. And so they decided to fund a larger study of using our techniques to really study mind-body therapy, mind-body medicine. And it was a super successful study. $3 million 4-year study, randomized control, a sampling, got functional MRI before therapy and after therapy. And we were tested against the standard of care, drug therapy. So it's a really rigorous study, really well done, really, really rigorous design. So currently we're the only licensed hypnotherapy school whose methodology has been utilized in National Institutes of Health funded research and validated. Our methodology is validated by scientific peer review process, independent peer review, as well as the peer review in the hospital at UNM. We've been published in 3 different journals. So the contrast is this. In past clinical studies researching hypnosis, a single static technique has been used, whether they were studying behavioral, emotional counseling type changes, or whether it was actually medical healing and pain control, a single static technique. Now, what that means is, and there's a really big difference between our style and other styles. What that means, though, next slide, is this previous research into the use of hypnosis used the same scripted technique, and we think this is the limitation. Well, we don't practice this way, and we'll talk about it as we go along here. But it means that a single static technique, the same script, was applied to every patient in every session. Now, part of that was in the past for standardization, right? So got to use the same strategy for research. We can't be varying the strategies. However, yes, you can. And this is the problem. Most hypnotherapy schools teach you a single script for a single problem. Here's the smoking script. Here's the weight loss script. Here's the anxiety script. Here's the whatever script, because that's how research has been done. A specific one strategy for that problem. And for us, that's a huge limitation. Biggest problem is not every patient has the same issue, goal, or problem for the same reason, right? I mean, even in medicine, not every patient gets the same dose. We vary it on body weight. I mean, just the simplest example, we don't give everybody always 10 milligrams of this. We'll change it based on even something as simple as body weight. So even in scientific research, we do allow for variability. Now, so there's a huge difference between, and partly why is this? Other hypnotherapy strategies teach one script for one problem. And this is the way schools teach mostly. One strategy for one problem, one hypnotherapy strategy for one problem. And that's a huge limitation because not everyone's basis for their problem is the same. Not every type 2 diabetic has the exact same reason for being a type 2 diabetic, right? Not everybody has the same exact basis for the problem. So we always felt like, geez, that's a huge limitation. We're not going to operate out of that limitation. So the big difference is with our research, and by the way, we know of no other research that's been done like this, meaning no other clinical research funded by the NIH or otherwise to utilize hypnotherapy methodology. And here's the difference, everybody. Here's the difference. And this is the real flexibility and creativity that we love sharing. So our methodology is comprised of check out these words, I'm going to put them in pink, varying multi-session system, which we will teach you, where sessions are tailored to each patient's unique needs, because not every problem has the same basis. Not every reason for a limitation is always the same. So this is a varying multi-session system that we presented, an 8-session system that we presented to NIH for them to fund it, and they funded it. So we wanted to do 8 sessions and really work at the underlying subconscious causes of the condition.